Good day, everyone. Father Jim here. Hope you're doing well on this Thursday, and it is the 30th day of May. I'm going to be reading from both of our readings today from our liturgy. Our first reading continues in the first epistle of St. Peter, chapter 2, beginning with verse 2. Beloved, like newborn infants, long for pure spiritual milk, so that through it you may grow into salvation, for you have tasted that the Lord is good. Come to him, a living stone, rejected by human beings, but chosen and precious in the sight of God. And, like living stones, let yourselves be built into a spiritual house, to be a holy priesthood, to offer spiritual sacrifices acceptable to God through Jesus Christ. You are a chosen race, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a people of his own, so that you may announce the praises of him who called you out of darkness into his wonderful light. Once you were no people, but now you are God's people. You had not received mercy, but now you have received mercy. Beloved, I urge you as aliens and sojourners to keep away from worldly desires that wage war against the soul. Maintain good conduct among the Gentiles, so that if they speak of you as evildoers, they may observe your good works and glorify God on the day of visitation. Our gospel today comes from St. Mark, chapter 10, beginning with verse 46. As Jesus was leaving Jericho with his disciples and a sizable crowd, Bartimaeus, a blind man, the son of Timaeus, sat by the roadside begging. On hearing that it was Jesus of Nazareth, he began to cry out and say, Jesus, Son of David, have pity on me. And many rebuked him, telling him to be silent. But he kept calling out all the more, Son of David, have pity on me. Jesus stopped and said, Call him. So they called the blind man, saying to him, Take courage, get up, Jesus is calling you. He threw aside his cloak, sprang up, and came to Jesus. Jesus said to him in reply, What do you want me to do for you? The blind man replied, Master, I want to see. Jesus told him, Go your way, your faith has saved you. Immediately he received his sight and followed him on the way. Well, back to our first reading today, St. Peter provides a wonderful definition of the early Christian community. He specifies that once they were no people, but by baptism they have become God's very own, and that makes them a chosen race, a royal priesthood, a holy nation. By faith, we have become living stones, precious like gems in the eyes of God. The movement Peter described is lived out in the story found in our gospel today. Bartimaeus is blind. He cannot see, literally and metaphorically, due to darkness and sin. He is a no people, living on the margins as he does, unable to work and therefore living in poverty. Bartimaeus sought to obtain something he truly believed only Jesus could give. In doing so, he was seeking to become a part of this royal family made up of Jesus' disciples. As he is precious like gems in the eyes of God, so did he wish for his eyes to see all that was precious in the eyes of the Lord. Bartimaeus was seeking more than sight. He was seeking the restoration of his human dignity so he could work to provide for himself. Bartimaeus believed that Jesus could give this to him. He had faith. It was commonly believed that misfortunes such as leprosy, deafness, and blindness were punishments from God based on sin. Jesus knows Bartimaeus has done no wrong, certainly nothing to deserve a punishment from above. Jesus restores his sight and his dignity. Bartimaeus could easily have run home to show his family what had been done to him and to see them for the very first time. But instead, he chooses to become a disciple and follower of Jesus. We pray then that Jesus, the Son of David, will have pity on us, removing our blind spots and helping us see ourselves and others as God does, especially those living on the margins, realizing that they too are called to be active members of this chosen race and holy priesthood. And that is a challenge for all of us, is always to be able to be looking at others the way Jesus looks upon us, the eyes of God. And what do those eyes see? The eyes of God? Love. God sees us with great love. He sees what we can become and the great potential that we have. And he's challenging us to do the same, rather than to judge, but rather to see the good and to see the potential that we all possess. With God's grace, great things can happen. So let's open our hearts to that grace today and all days. And let's keep praying for one another. Have a great day, everyone. God bless you.